Hey everybody, I'm the Cecil Disharoon that is bringing you this book here, Anywhere With You. But I couldn't have written it without Angela Disharoon. You know, after all, it kind of came from our lives in so many ways. So check it out. You know how even when you don't feel well, it's like that you might have the energy to sit down with a book, and it can definitely take you away from things. You know. That said, though, let's say that you wanted to learn a little something, but the feeling was really important to you. So this is a book about going from a lower state of feeling poorly, to being supercharged by falling in love. So lots of things happen here, but think about Anywhere With You. It's like it's like this. It's kind of simple, and it's about a simpler point in time before, I would say, before politics became such a prominent conversation, and everything had changed so much before cell phones.
Before the 24-hour news cycle because of the internet
Right.
and all that it brings, social media in the forms that it is.
This is a book from the days of cable TV, and none of the individuals in this book, I think, own a computer. That seems right. Yeah. So if that helps place it for you, welcome to the mid-90s. That's what Anywhere With You is about. And it's also a book about belonging.
Johan might have owned it.
Yeah. But you see, that's true. That's true. He might have. We just didn't know him yet. Really.
Yeah, we didn't know him.
Yeah, but
up until what?
But he's not. I mean, he's in the book, but he's just a fictional character. I guess there's no point in saying it much. It's just with a little bit of changed names. It's like it's.
Oh, that's right. We didn't.
The people. He's just somebody that he's somebody in the conversation, and then he's somebody that the characters meet later on in the book. But we've kind of blown the whole bit by explaining who he is, or have we? Is that part of the point? Is that this is actually people, in large part from our personal lives.
There are some fictional aspects to the book,
but it's focused on trying to recreate the actual past.
Yes,
there are some fictional elements.
The emotional elements, they're all true.
The emotional elements are all there, and they're all true. And they lead with a lot of love, because we feel a lot of love. And even writing about the happiness that became ours when we fell in love. That's still, there was a lot of love for the people around us as well. Maybe we didn't all understand each other so completely, but that's also what life is about too. What I find really funny is that in a lot of ways, the characters in this book, it's like there's trauma, there's definitely drama, but most of the characters try to live in a harmonious, drama-free way with each other. There's like a sincere intention for people to get along that I think permeates the atmosphere of this book. It's not just about two people falling in love. It's about their culture as it transformed into the one that we know today.
It's about their historical culture, the culture that they were raised in, the culture of Christianity.
And I wouldn't be kidding if I said that it was about ghosts.
It was definitely, and some of the elements that are true there. Well, a lot of the more horrific elements are indeed actions that happened in my life. And the definition of what those are have changed over the years as I've looked at it with newer and newer eyes. But those elements are true, and the way they affected my life until I met him was a very negative thing. And then I found a freedom in him to research a way to connect with what happened to me on that mountain, and with new eyes in a new way, by just researching what was out there about just other things that existed that was outside my purview and outside of the look of the Christianity, because it didn't quite, what happened to me on the mountain didn't quite fit in my Christian purview.
Well, I hope that really interests you as a prelude, because the other thing in the video that I'd like to follow this with is going to be how, basically a fictional version of how we met. And that's going to be a lot of fun. It's about 4 minutes of reading, you know. But while you're with me, right, I guess it's like, you know, spoiler alert, the characters end up together. You know, unlike, you know, your typical idea of a romance novel, I suppose, it's like there's really little pretense that these two people aren't in love. They love fiercely all the way through.
From basically the moment they met each other.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
And that's
unusual.
The truest element in that story.
That is the truest element. I think that's the reason that we felt like that this book was worth writing, and why I'm unashamed to share it with people, even though I do consider it to be as simply and directly written as possible. I think in that aspect it makes it more accessible as a story, and perhaps that's a more important factor than any kind of intellectual showing or anything. There are some intentions inside the book. There are characters that are intelligent. There are a lot of intelligent characters in this book, actually, you know. But they all have to deal with emotional lives as well, you know. So I guess that's another aspect. You know, there's a lot of smart people in the book, but it's all rather humble in a way. You know, it's all people, you know, kind of fresh from the country, not, you know, not particularly.
They're seeking to expand on what they know of life.
Yeah, it's like, how does one go about becoming unlike any generation before, you know? And how do you do it with your own stamp on it, you know, your own sense of an integrity of something, you know? It's like, what do you stand for? What do you know, what matters to you? What, you know, what are some of the elements of what makes your life worth living? That is a conversation that I do think that you will be rewarded with in this book. Now, I just lost the place where we found the rings. That was fun though. Oh, well, I like that. Okay, well, Dad King thanked her. She couldn't hide that she had taken him unawares. The check had been the point, though, right? Oh, ha ha ha! She pays for her boyfriend's car payment. Yeah, Mom had a little to say, as if she felt guilty being in an apartment where fornications would raise church pew eyebrows. Is that what I really think? Or are we having a little fun? I don't know. Or maybe she was just quiet that day, as she often had a blue streak of conversation. But not on this day, not Mom King here. Now, Louis was vaguely unclear what Denise had told their mother about Gina, nor what her intentions had been at the time. Gina would not be hard to like. He just knew it. A little more chit-chat ensued, and soon the pair was alone again. Wow, thanks. You know, I wouldn't have asked you, he began. Look, your troubles are my troubles. We solve them together, she said, understated yet heroically. I had the money they wanted. The bill needs paying. That's what I do for you. That's how we handle things together. Why wait until we're married? Why wait indeed, Louis said, with another kiss that would have drawn jeers beside the checkout at Allmart. Oh, yeah. Fun. Okay, all right. I mean, it is. There's a very light heart in it, you know, despite the misunderstandings that people have. It's like the misunderstandings are kind of silly overall.
Aren't misunderstandings really?
There's probably more humor to be
part.
found in it than I, you know, might have originally accredited. But yeah, aren't they? Aren't misunderstandings? How are they necessary? I guess it depends on the misunderstanding, right? Well, that said, that's Anywhere with You. This isn't going to turn itself off. Okay.
I'm
Here we go.
done.